Welcome to Sumbits, where we decode the PowerSchool development experience. Sumbits is brought to you by MBA. Let's start the show.
I think we already started recording.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, we're officially recording already?
Yeah.
Then let's do
Welcome,
it.
everybody.
Yeah.
Oh,
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome, everybody.
A live episode of Events. For our watchers and listeners, we are actually live at the PSUG Orlando conference. And on that note, we kind of wanted to spend this episode talking about kind of the evolution of PSUG. But as always, before we get started, today I am drinking Horse Soldier. It's hard to say 3 times fast. But I figured it was fitting because it was Veterans Day recently. And this is actually a veteran-owned company. I wanted to support them. What are you guys drinking?
To you, sir.
All right. Well, I'm drinking Russell's Reserve because we went to the liquor store and asked Sean, being the bourbon aficionado, what do you recommend? He said this, so I bought it. And I like it.
I think I drank it on an episode early.
Probably.
Oh, yeah. I'm drinking a Kolsch. My good friends got it from the pool bar for me. I don't even know what brand it is, but it's Kolsch and it's good. Sorry, that was lame. But you should learn to expect that by now.
But you know what? It's not. It's not your normal. It's not a Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah, it's not. It's not a spotted cow. Yeah.
So he's finally adventure. So we have a pretty decent audience here, but within the audience, we do have Joe Miller. So Joe, thanks for letting us do this here.
Decent is a relative term, but
yeah,
I mean, he's talking about the size, not the personalities.
Yeah, much bigger, right? But I mean, I can at least start talking about my experience with PSUG experiences, and I think the first one I went to was in Michigan City as an attendee, and very quickly realized that this was an organization that I wanted to be around a lot more. A couple of years as an attendee, 2 people that you may or may not know, Kathy Steinbrook and Julie Brown, kept on bugging me to talk to Joe and see if I could present at one of his conferences. I think I presented one actual class, and ever since then, they put me in a room by myself doing one-on-ones and then a help desk. I've made it on time most of the time, but there was a couple instances. But
I know the first year I presented at a PSUG, I filled in for you because you didn't show up that day.
Yeah.
That was where our relationship started.
Yeah.
And that was Joe's fault.
It was Joe's fault, yeah. But that's neither here nor there. But no, the PSUG conferences has been a huge part of my life, and I wouldn't be in the position that I'm at without them. So that's what's that? Yeah, the PowerSchool High School. Not a Joe Miller conference, but yeah, definitely spent quite a bit of time there too over the years. So my PSUG experience has just been over the last, I think, 6 or 7 years. But I know these conferences went before that. I think you were involved before that time period.
My first PSUG conference was also Michigan City. By the way, for any viewers who are not aware, Michigan City is actually in Indiana, very close to Gary, Indiana. You'll get that song stuck in your head now. You're welcome.
Gary, Indiana.
And my fondest memory of my first PSUG, I want to say it was 2015. There was this dude wandering around with a curly mullet. Yes, I'm looking at you, Joe Miller. Do you remember this? Joe Miller had a curly mullet, and I'd never met the dude before, and I was too intimidated to talk to him because, he's the guy that puts on these conferences, and I'm the new kid on the block. So it took me a few conferences to kind of get to know everybody, but one thing Joe said at the end of that conference, he got up and thanked everybody for coming. He talked about the PSUG staff, and he talked about the fact that the staff is more than just a bunch of people to get together and jump into a conference room and do a little teaching. They're a family, and they're all very close to one another. It is a great group of people to get together with. Like Sean said, you just realize you want to be a part of that experience, that organization, that And it's yeah. So I've been here ever since.
So
And
do we hug now, or
let's bring it in, gentlemen. Bring it in. We'll bring Joe in for a hug later too, maybe. But yeah, if we could do the mullet again for an upcoming conference, that would be awesome. Just saying.
Right there's that.
Yeah, Joe's right behind me, by the way, folks, and I'm staring at him, and he's giving me a really uncomfortable look right now.
That looks more dreamy.
Oh yeah, there are pictures of Joe Miller with a cowboy hat.
that would be a nice shout out to Kathy as well.
For anybody who doesn't know, and I think most of the Power School world knows, Joe Miller despises country music. So
I think that's putting it lightly.
yeah. So somebody actually one year somehow was it a Photoshop, Joe, or did they actually get you to put a hat on and took a picture at one point? Oh, they. Oh, okay. So they took a photo of Clint Black and they superimposed Joe's face over Clint Black with this big old cowboy hat, and then they actually made a little cardboard cutout and put them on sticks so everybody could wave them around. I still have one, by the way, in my home office back in Madison. I'll never give it up, big guy. And then one day we decided to lower our standards and we let Canadians in.
Yeah, well,
That's a nice
and
I'll do it.
I mean,
Oh, sorry, Scott.
The love is the love does go both ways, you asshole. And I mean, relative to these guys, I am the newcomer. I would say to the PSUG world, but you know what? My first one was actually in Vegas, and I mean, Vegas, awesome. But I gotta say, the first thing that I saw when I got to PSUG and I saw all the people that were working it, right? It was a very tight family, but a very welcoming family. And I'm happy to feel part of this family now, because I mean, definitely they've done nothing ever but make me feel welcome and be part of it. And I've been enjoying it ever since. Sometimes I'm here. I've been I've been here as a presenter. I've been here as a vendor. This time I'm an attendee. It's been great. I've been hanging around with Sean though, and he's been telling me what I can do.
Right.
But I mean, I don't have as long of a story of my history with PSUG because it hasn't been as long. But it's been great so far, and I look forward to it for years to come.
Rock and roll. I just had a thought. I'm sorry, this is completely off topic, but there are a few attendees that we have here at this conference that I've been hanging out near this guy here, and I guess they don't realize scale when we're sitting in front of a webcam. So I wonder if we could all stand up and back up so that people can realize.
We got to back up so that it works. Yeah.
But it's really nice because whenever I'm around Ryan and we're in crowds, I can just stand in front of him and I don't block his view.
And then I just do this.
There have been at least 2 or 3 people that I've been hanging around Ryan, and they look up and they're like, "Damn, dude, I didn't realize."
Yeah, 6'7" is big. So I've been told kind of the previous history of PSUG, but I'm not sure everybody knows kind of the origins of PSUG. But I think, Eric, you mentioned that it started out as more of just a state conference, right?
Well, I've been told that originally our good friend Joe Miller got together with some other yahoos from the state of Michigan, and Joe is in the audience. So Joe, feel free to shout out and correct me if I recap any of this incorrectly. They wanted to do a Michigan PSUG event, so somebody for some reason thought Joe Miller could do that, and Joe Miller's like, "Yeah, I'll do that," and got Dory Baldwin, who's also amazing. She actually runs PSUG, by the way. Joe just cuts the checks. And they decided after doing a few Michigan PSUGs that we could do some cool stuff outside of the state of Michigan, and therefore, Joe, when was the first time you did something outside of Michigan?
Well, first, there's a big difference between PSUG and PSUG events. The PowerSchool usually was around a long time before I was up here, so that's just an amazing group of people that's all from all around the country and all around the world. But yeah, PSUG events we started out in Michigan, And some of us are gambling degenerates, and we were in Vegas one night, and I just kind of out of the blue said, wouldn't it be awesome if we did a conference here in Las Vegas? And Dory and Al and those people like, there's no way you could ever do a conference in Vegas. Like, excuse me?
Challenge accepted. I'm hoping.
Less than a year later, we were at our hotel for our first national event.
I'm hoping that Joe's voice carried to the microphone, but just in
We
case.
tested earlier and it pretty much did.
So I don't need to recount what he just said. Okay. Everything
Joe
was
basically
cool
said
in
he likes
Michigan.
gambling.
Joe likes to gamble. Joe went to Vegas and thought, how can I make money and still come to Vegas?
Instead of just losing.
PSUG Events, my friend. Here we are.
What year was that, Joe?
Oh. 2010.
Nice.
And I love how you definitely made the distinction between PSUG Events and the PSUG group. But I wanted to say, like, PSUG Events is this, like, entity. PSUG, the group, it's like lifeblood, right? And I mean, I'm part of it, and I bleed it. These dudes too. I can just put the words in their mouth, and I mean, I say, like, I mean, everyone in this room, you're all an awesome part of that. So
Most of them are.
Most of them are. Well, thank you for being here. I just want to say.
So I'm curious, like, who was at the 2010 Riviera conference? Anybody that was here?
There were some people at this conference that were there.
Yeah.
Carla's older than dirt. She must have been there.
Oh,
Damn.
I used to do state when I was in Ohio. I did state conference. You came down like my first year, I think, and checked it out.
See if it was one he wanted to take over.
We actually started talking about doing a combined Michigan Ohio because there's a rivalry there. Well, I had the t-shirt. The Al was going up to a venue there, and then I think
Switching it.
But I have been, even when you were doing them up in Novi,
yeah.
in those, before you said you did, I always come up and help teach there.
That was awesome.
So how long have all of you been going to these conferences? Who's been going the longest?
I've been since the second year.
It's the second year?
Okay, wait, I'm sorry. Let's repeat. Joe, your first one in Vegas was?
2010.
2010.
Has anyone in this room been at a 2010 event? No, nobody here has been at 2010. Well, other than you, of course, Joe. So have you been doing them every year? Did you skip any other? I mean, other than the COVIDs,
No,
which,
we haven't
yeah.
decided we've added something, but of course.
So 2011, anyone, 2011. We got a 2011, Mike Grissett. Mike G.
Mike with a Polish last name.
Mikey G. Grishewski.
There's a lot more letters than that.
It's Polish, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Not very
2011. All right, you get you take the cake, my friend. Did you know Joe back then, Mike?
I didn't know Joe, but I knew a couple people from our district had gone first year, and they said this is the event to go. Actually, a couple people from North Dakota, not from our district, but they said it was the place to go to. Great PowerSchool conference. I went. That was the first year of the Flamingo, right?
Yes.
And yeah,
I've been there once.
it was an excellent conference. Great presenters, great food at the Flamingo, great staff there.
Great suits.
The best thing was the Riviera, the very first one we did there. The hotel itself had two mirroring convention centers. We had one, and another group had the other one. And it was just amazing. It's the best thing ever. So we've got a group of educators in one half of the conference center. The other half are the roller girls doing roller derby. And they're in fishnets and roller skates, skating through the hotel, skating through our conference center. I just laughed for an entire week.
And been laughing ever since.
Oh, yeah.
We should host a Sumbits roller derby. You could put on some fishnets.
That would be, well, I mean, I'd look great that, but the roller derby part wouldn't be great. I'd just have to stand there and be a wallflower.
All right, so we had the original one was 2010 in Las Vegas. Were we just doing nationals thereafter for the first couple of years? When did we start doing the regional events?
Would have been, I believe, 2013. We started doing the Myrtle Beach one, and the Southeast one, and the Northeast one.
No, was it a demand thing?
Yeah, I had people across the country ask about, "Do you mind doing something in our area?" And it got more to specifically, can you do it in our state?
Nice.
And there's no way I can do 50 events a year
Of course
for
not.
a school district. So we kind of narrowed down some states that where it would be beneficial to do. So we ended up in Myrtle Beach and Springfield, Massachusetts, and Michigan City, Indiana. We tried one in California, did not go well.
Yeah, the California one wasn't well attended. This is, by the way, our inaugural event in Orlando, Florida. This is a great conference center. This has been a good event. I think
Amazing.
Really enjoyed.
Amazing.
I mean, it doesn't hurt that it's Orlando in November.
Oh, and you know what? I will shamelessly for you, Joe, plug that I heard you announced at lunch today that Westgate is where. So, and Sean and I both play darts. Our dart venue for my national dart events, when they happen, have moved to Westgate in the past couple of years. An outstanding venue. So, I've experienced that one. That'll be a great PSUG venue as well.
Wow.
There,
You guys play darts. All the ladies watching this podcast are going to
all the ladies who play darts.
Yeah. Carla plays.
I was on a team in, Boston.
So Carla, who I've been picking on a little bit, and they just referenced to, by the way, is the VP of operations at NBA. We absolutely adore Carla, but I absolutely annoy Carla. Speaking of throwing darts, we were talking about how to entertain ourselves when we came down here this week, and we talked about throwing darts. But Carla has apparently an affinity for axe throwing. Yes, friends, this is a thing. If you didn't know it, I've actually done it before. It's a lot of fun. You can go to these places and throw hatchets. But we decided to go with darts. I did not feel safe.
And see, when I found out about this,
I told Ryan.
I thought this was crazy that there was actually, businesses that do this. Because to me, axe throwing is something you do with your friends when you've had a little too much and, you're out in the woods. And the only actual benefit to having an actual, business do this is that you don't have to go and find your axe buried in poison ivy afterwards.
Some of these venues actually serve you alcohol while you're throwing axes.
Well, that's par for the course for me, but holy moly.
I wouldn't want their insurance bill.
You have to sign a waiver.
So I think the PSUG events have been pretty integral for PowerSchool in general, especially on the customization side, because a lot of the people that do the customization for PowerSchool attend these events, and Eric has taught plenty of classes on JavaScript and a lot of customization type classes. So it would be interesting to know. And I don't know if this is anything that we could ever do, but to look at PowerSource Exchange and see how many customizations are on PowerSource Exchange that are from developers that have been to your conferences and learned how to do it from the conferences.
All of them.
It's like every single one of them, right? Absolutely. Because I know the only reason I know anything about customizations is coming to these events.
I taught him everything he knows, actually.
Which isn't much. I'm not a very good instructor. Anyway.
My fragile ego.
I know, right? Shrink your head a little bit. So I know, looking out at the crowd here, I think I counted at least 4, maybe 5 people that are sitting in this room right now have been previously on the podcast.
Was it that painful?
Oh, hey, the applause sign.
Oh, wait.
Do you feel so powerful right now? That looked like a lot of fun. I want you to all note that they clapped louder when I did it.
The first time they clapped for me. And then they got, how about Sean?
What does it say?
You know what? You just hold it up. I told them. The power.
That is a good feeling.
Mine was loudest, in case anyone didn't notice. Just saying.
But yeah, so I mean, previous people that have been on the podcast, up here in the front row, Jim Parsons, thanks, Nick, Eric, Peter, who else?
Can
Yeah, it's going to be a great time.
Can we? I'd
want
love.
you all behind us
We've
right
got
now.
some great people in the audience. They're sitting on the other side of the camera. For the folks that have been on our podcast before, if you wouldn't mind, would you kind of come on, and then maybe we can bring you behind us to wave to the
Just
camera and say hi one by one.
A little parade behind us while we stare awkwardly into the camera. Yeah, parade.
I want like the Egyptian, like the.
Yes. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Jim Parsons. Jim, what did we talk to you about? What was your topic?
I remember.
It's okay, so neither do I.
Obviously, it was API.
I think it was. I think it was
Yeah,
API.
it
I'm
was
pretty
the
sure.
API.
Yeah. Okay.
For sure.
That was it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jim Parsons. Sign. And then we got Peter Nethercott with us. What did we talk to Peter about?
Start of the school year.
Starting
Yep.
this
That's
school
it.
year,
Yep.
ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Peter Nethercott.
That's good. Who's next?
And then we got Millie. Millie. Eric Militich. Ladies and gentlemen. Isn't he handsome?
Handsome devil.
What did we talk to you about?
COVID?
Right. Yes.
did,
Yeah.
actually.
Like yeah. Ours.
Question, right?
Well, it was intended to be, yes. Thank you very much.
For obvious reasons, there might be some episodes we don't remember.
Nick Pirani. Have a sip, my friend. Nick Pirani.
Okay, well, COVID.
Oh, that's all right.
What did we talk to you about?
What did we talk about? New districts to.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
I still remember, and I've said this, yes, Nick Pirani, friends. I've said this once before, and I'm going to say it again. I think one of my favorite quotes from any episode we've ever done was Nick Pirani, and he talked about being new to a district and how you integrate into that role. And we love to talk about customization and the technological stuff. And Nick said one of the most important things that you can do starting in a new district is connect with your coworkers and establish relationships. And I'm sorry, it's stuck with it. He tugs at my heartstrings, Nick Pirani.
And I think that's true for every job, but I mean, heck,
Like,
yeah, get to know your people.
I mean, it's just like so many of the people in the PowerSchool community. I mean, they're in education because they care. They're good people. They're a little freaking weird, but they are adorable and quality folk.
For sure.
Except Carla.
It happens.
It's gotta be one in every crowd, right?
I'm actually curious, since this is the first time we've had a group of people that have all actually watched the podcast. Does anybody have like a favorite episode? Or has nobody actually watched them? You just go to it to like make sure the view counts and be like, oh, look at them, they're so.
Well,
I like Jim's.
Like Jim's episode?
And Rome.
Like Rami's episode?
Oh, a shout out to the folks that couldn't be with us. He who shall not be named was not able to be with us.
do not say it. We make our best effort to not even say that.
I know, but I have to say this. I love it when people reference him as Madam Schmarson. It's an immediate nod to like, thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Love it.
And I mean, any one of you could be guests that are in this room, and we would love to,
That's really why we invited you here. We're going to need all your contact information so we can
and an outline
and
of what
so we
you
can
want to
reach
talk
out to you about your car's extended warranty.
You must
about. Even
buy-
if I have to paste my face green.
You must purchase 2
Thank you, Rob
NBA
Stone.
plugins to be invited to be a guest on
Graciously sponsored by.
Can we ask Joe Miller to come up in case there's anybody
Of
that
course.
doesn't know
We can
who
ask
Joe is?
him.
And
We can ask
we've been
him.
chatting with Joe.
Yeah.
No, and we're talking about PSUG events here, and this is the man that made it happen.
And
Joe, please come.
If you were watching this and you've heard of PSUG events,
There you go.
Yes.
Come on in.
Yeah, nice.
Wait,
I
are you
think-
trying to creep in behind me? This is
I'm being
getting
a
weird.
creeper. Being a creeper.
This is
I
getting
think
weird.
if you're watching this and you've heard of PSUG events and you've never been, you need to know this guy because this is really, I mean, he's right. Dory makes it happen, but
He's the face of it all.
he's the face of it all, and he is an amazing dude and the friendliest dude. And I mean,
I don't know about that.
no. What was funny is like he was. I will say this. Like I mean, he was recognizing me and being warm to me when I still wasn't sure who he was. Which I appreciated. And like I said, it made me feel comfortable and welcome. And it was like, oh, yeah.
If I can piggyback on that sentiment, we just a couple months ago did an Acme event, which Joe decided to sponsor. So many years ago, there were some advanced users that got together and did some stuff, and that kind of fizzled out. And Joe had the idea, let's try to revive that. Let's try to get PSUG events to do something like that. So he wanted to get an event together for all the uber nerds of the PowerSchool world.
So we could talk nerdy together.
And to just collaborate and build things. And so he has sponsored now, there have been 3 of them. There would have been 4 if it weren't for the COVIDs. These Acme groups. And what we do is just like the nerdiest PowerSchool developers across the globe. We got people from Dubai, yes, Rami Bacchus, we miss you, we love you, that come in. And just a couple months ago, we got together in Detroit and sat down for 3 days. And from 8 a.m. till 10 p.m., we cranked out code. And Joe made this happen for all of us. It probably was not extremely profitable for him.
All the alcohol.
And he, there was an open bar every night. But at the end of it, we cranked out some PowerSchool plugins, and everybody came with the understanding, and it was Joe's demand that if we're going to do this, we want to produce something, and it's going to be shared with the PowerSchool community at no cost. And that happened thanks to this guy. If you go to easyregpro.com/acme.php, there are a couple of free plugins that are posted there that have come out of that event that Joe made happen, and they're available freely to the PowerSchool community. So thanks, Joe.
Yeah, PowerSchool had their advanced learning summit for a few years, and then that kind of fizzled away. And then I think Roger.
I'll put the link in the description.
Started the Augie group, which is the Advanced User Group Information Exchange. They did that for a few years, and that went away. So we just thought it was time to get that going again and get you guys together and have some fun. So it's been nice.
And I mean, I was able to make it to the first 2 and amazing, and then COVID was restrictive, but and life is what life is. But I mean, I look forward to getting to the next one and everyone after that. And it's like, I think that's my favorite. It's like Disney World for me. Code and alcohol.
Nerds and booze. I know Peter Nethercott has said more than once when he discovered, I've heard him tell this story more than once, when he discovered the PSUG community. It was like he found his long lost family.
Tribe.
Right,
He said
Peter?
tribe.
Tribe.
And I'll never forget it because I remember when he said it, I was like, that is heartfelt. And I mean, I agree.
Man, I wish I brought my razor.
You're just jealous that you don't have your mullet anymore, is what you're saying.
It wasn't a mullet, it was just a little bit long.
It was kind of a mullet. Did anybody else see the mullet? I mean, can anybody back me up on this? Carla, you were there.
Nobody's backing you up.
See, I've been too mean to Carla already. She's like, I gotta have your back, man.
Carla wants invited back.
This year, just so you know, we're doing a brand new event we've never done before. We're going to have our first international event. It's going to be in Buffalo, New York in July. If I can put a plug in here.
Oh, you know what? Absolutely.
July 10th through the 14th in Buffalo, New York. It's going to be our first ever international event. And unlike Scott and Ryan, we're going to let all Canadians in. So it's going to be nice.
It's So you're gonna let everybody else come in, just not them.
Buffalo
It's not-
is a nice hop across the border from Canada.
It's at the Buffalo Niagara Convention Center, so you got Niagara Falls right there, a couple casinos there.
Weird.
And, yeah, surprising.
Something
We do have a rule, all events have to be within 30 miles of the casinos.
And a pie gough table.
Yeah, I know, right? It's hard to
Just
find
don't let
And-
Al Momrick teach you how to play craps. That is dangerous, my friend.
Why?
Michigan City, I'm like Al Momrick, God bless him. He's one of the most lovely people I've ever met. But so we're in Michigan City and he's like, Eric, you're kind of a blackjack guy, but you creep out the blackjack dealers. So let's try something different.
Who don't you creep out?
It's because you never blink when you're staring at them.
Or you say awkward things.
You're just like,
Yeah, Sean actually was standing behind me once going like this, just stop talking.
Me and Adam were like,
Yeah,
dude, you gotta stop.
it didn't work. I kept going.
Nope, kept going. Kept trying to apologize. The most awkward.
But Al
thing possible.
Momrick was like, yeah, well, I'm going to teach you how to play craps. And 5 minutes and $60 later, I was done.
$60. Wish I had a night like that where I only lost $60.
Right?
Well, I know when to say when, Joe. That's the difference.
You do it for 12 hours. I mean, things are going to happen.
Right. So awesome. New one in Buffalo and the Vegas, the West one.
The Westgate.
Dates, right?
Yep. I just uploaded a bunch of dates to our website, easyregpro.com/PSUG Events.
Link in description.
We've got our Vegas one has been moved from July through to March. And then we've got Myrtle Beach again in May, the new international one in July. We are still working on the fall Midwest event. It'll be either Michigan or Michigan City, Indiana, and then back in Orlando in November. And Acme will probably be in the September, although I'd like to move it to hockey season.
No one cares about hockey.
Yeah, I do, and I'm bored all day.
I want a Jets
So I need
game.
to go do something.
Right there.
Say Ryan would be happy if you made it during if the Jets ever played Detroit.
I'd love to see them slaughter Detroit.
We don't have a football team in Detroit.
No,
Wrong
they
Jets.
had their first non-loss last weekend.
It was a tie, yeah.
So if anyone isn't aware, Joe's from
non-loss.
Detroit, and his football team had their first non-loss last weekend. And I won't say win because they didn't win, they tied. It was the first time in 9 games that they didn't lose.
Better than a few years ago.
Like a pro line tie or actual like point tie.
Point tie.
Or,
What's a
wow.
pro line tie? You're just making up
Game
words.
No, like within 5 points of each other.
Oh, no, they tied.
What you know in football. Thought you
I
were-
learn things every day.
You should take him to a hockey game.
Oh, I got slapped at the hockey game. Yeah. I met a girl from
Detroit, you don't mess with
at a
them.
hockey game in Boston.
And what was your opening line?
Joe,
Not to be creepy.
not to be creep. Okay, well, so first of all, I learned this was a different story, but we'll browse over this. I'll just say that apparently, if you're talking to a girl and you start a sentence with "not to be creepy," but it's automatically creepy, don't do that. But this is a different story. That's for another day.
Such a learner.
So Joe brought me to a hockey game, and there was a girl from Detroit there, and it was a Saturday night, right, Joy? Right, Joe?
Joy.
Sorry. Hi, Joy. We're going to ask you to come say hi later, by the way. I hope that's okay. Prepare yourselves. We're going to get the NBA team up here. So Joe took me to a hockey game, and there was a girl from Detroit there. It was a Saturday night. The next day, the Lions were going to play the Pack. And I'm from Wisconsin. We love our Pack. And Detroit had a pathetic year. They were having a pathetic year. So I was telling her, like, I hope you're ready to get embarrassed tomorrow. We're going to wipe the floor with you. And she just looked at me and...
The best thing about it, Matt Newman, one of the vendors, was sitting with us, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, that was great. Can you do that again so I can get a picture?" So he pulls his phone out, and she just backhand and slapped him again twice. It was beautiful. It was priceless.
I'm glad you enjoyed
If we had
that.
that video, I'd put it online, but I asked him yesterday. He doesn't have didn't save it.
I would get rid of that.
Did not save it.
Hi, Allison.
She's wanted to slap me many times, but she's exercised restraint.
I believe that.
It's allowed now.
Okay, fair enough.
Only on Thursday.
Only on Thursdays. Carla, who you'll meet in a minute, who I've been picking on this whole time, by the way. Carla is our VP of Operations. Did I already say that? I've had some whiskey and beer, so I forget what I've said and what I haven't said. We're gonna bring her up to say hi later, and she will throat punch me later because she's now obligated because I said she was gonna do it.
It's not Thursday though.
It's not Thursday, so I'm safe.
Yeah.
And for any school district administrators out there, this is after hours. We don't drink during the day at the events most of the time. So,
What?
Is that like a policy?
no, not really.
Okay,
that's
just
outside
good
of
to know.
It's actually Saturday at about 7 PM right now.
Thank you, Scott.
Yeah, we'll roll with that.
Rock and roll.
Does anybody have like, I think I already asked this, but any other like fond PSUG memories, PSUG events that you'd like to
I
share?
remember a time in Michigan City when there was a song playing at the bar, Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy.
Dueling pianos,
I
right?
have that.
Well, apparently this affects Eric.
If you can't tell, it may involve Eric. And actually one of our newer employees, yeah.
Yeah. Why's your face?
Ah, yeah. Okay, now I already know. Now I do know the story.
Your face did
Is
get
my
red.
face getting red?
It did,
Yes.
yeah. I think you wore a hat.
So, they were so good though. So Joe, another thing Joe does for anybody who might be watching that hasn't come to PSUG events,
Change that.
you've got to come, man, because this guy brings in entertainment also.
Great
We
entertainment.
had dueling pianos one night. He brought them in from Chicago to Michigan City, and they were playing the best country song ever.
It's probably when I went to the bathroom.
Probably. Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy. And much to the chagrin of my boss, who was in the audience, I found one of the attendees who I knew to be a good spirit.
And he rode him like a cowboy.
I mean, to put it bluntly.
Well, I thought I was going to get like a piggyback ride across the
That's my
dance
favorite
floor and
part.
it'd be like going like this, but he actually got down on all fours.
Thanks, Vaughn. How many years later and we're still
And I
talking
hope
about it?
Vaughn doesn't watch this because he's going to be mortified and he will murder me when he sees it.
Vaughn works for us now.
Yeah.
And we recently acquired this wonderful gentleman, another one of the stellar MBA staff.
So now we can all write him.
There you go.
Yeah.
We will make
Part
it.
of the job description.
We'll make it a Christmas party tradition.
We don't have HR, so we're okay.
Yeah, right.
No,
Oh,
no.
yes.
Vaughn needs to be the horse, not the rider. I'm pretty sure that's given.
The same would be true of Ryan and Tammy. Ryan should be the
However.
horse.
Should.
Tammy offered a piggyback.
Wait,
It didn't work out.
Did you two actually try this? Did you try to give Ryan a piggyback?
All right, so we're bringing Tammy up because
Okay,
Tammy
so
is
we've got to see
tiny.
this, right? I mean,
Right, she just moved the chair.
Tammy's in the
One time.
lollipop guild for Pete's sake.
He wanted to piggyback ride. I told him okay, but.
Did you sign a waiver? I don't want to get sued after this is over.
Don't worry, it's a zero property.
Ryan should not be the one. Anyways.
And by the way, this is the wonderful Tammy Todd from MBA.
You pronounced her name improperly.
I said Tammy Todd.
It's not Tammy Todd. The proper pronunciation is Tammy Todd.
I thought it was just make sure you do it all together to Todd.
That's
No.
the minimum effort.
No.
She says all lowercase, no spaces.
All lowercase, no spaces,
Ta-ta.
Tammy Todd.
Like that?
And if I had her address, I would invite you all. I'm going to get it. We're all going to have a party at what we call Todd Town.
Tammy Town.
Tammy.
I was in her
no,
session this
it's
morning.
Todd
Tammy
Town.
Land. Which is
Tammy
different
Land.
than Todd.
Oh.
Land is up here.
Tammy Land is,
Oh,
Okay.
Tammy Land is in the, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Todd Town is the physical.
And Todd Town, I'm told, is awesome. I've never been there. So next episode, I'll get you all her address and a date,
We'll all
and
meet
we
there.
will descend upon her.
Maybe we could just do a PSUG. There's a casino.
We
with
could
an
do a
iPad.
live event from Todd Town.
And everybody wins.
My husband is
Yep.
letting us turn his pole barn into a training facility. He said no.
Yeah, we'll work on them.
Don't you have a pole barn?
He obviously doesn't know who's in charge.
I think so.
Is there anybody in the crowd that this is their first PSUG?
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness. I didn't think that was possible anymore, so thank you.
Okay.
You know what?
What? Can I?
Y'all want to be on camera?
Yeah,
Come
you
on
should
up.
just come up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. No, up here. You know what, Rob?
There is. I'm gonna ask, and Rob might hate me for this. I'm totally springing this on him.
I'm
He
gonna
didn't know
go.
he's gonna do it.
I'm going.
But I would like to say publicly, and if you want to come up, Rob, and say hi, that's okay. If not, but I'm going to say that we have a gentleman by the name of Rob Stats in the audience right now.
Yeah.
Yes. And some of you.
Reluctant, because last time I came on the stage.
Oh yeah. That's a good story.
And $100 lighter.
That's a good story. So first of all.
Remember, you paid to do that.
Yeah.
All right. First of all, I want to say this gentleman behind me, Rob Stats, ladies and gentlemen, for anyone watching, you may not have heard the name before, but you have now, and you should have PSCB Custom Reports Bundle.
You probably have seen the name if you're in the PSUG
I hope so.
user group.
Okay. All right. Fair
yeah.
enough. But he is the driving force. You and another gentleman,
And Jeep Ostra.
behind the PSCB Custom Reports Bundle. If you don't have it, you should. It is, by the way, it's free. Did I mention it's free? If you want to say anything about it, Rob.
You did a good job.
Okay, I did a good job. PowerDataSolutions.org. PowerDataSolutions.org. And it's not just the custom reports bundle, right? Like that's the big thing, right? That's your big product. But you have other free customizations in there.
I would go and
plugins
say
for PowerSchool.
it's where everybody who is in year one of PowerSchool gets recommended to go, and you learn from, and you build from, and it's a great starting point, and then it's a great growing point, and it's a great place to keep going back to. And I mean, this guy's making it all possible.
Thanks, Rob.
You. And Joe, great job. Can't believe it's my first PSUG.
I should have been.
Oh, one more thing before you go, Rob. Do you have $100?
Rob was the star of our comedy show last
There
night.
will never be $100 in my pocket, never again.
Thank you, Rob.
Poor Rob. Yes, thank you, Rob. So I was talking about what a great job Joe does with the entertainment. He brought in a comedian/magician from Vegas to Orlando to entertain the staff. Not the staff.
No,
the
he brought in
attendees.
2 entertainers from
He did.
Vegas.
Well, okay. I'm sorry. This was one of the 2.
Yeah.
And he's a magician/comedian, and he does a magic trick with a $100 bill, and he asks if anybody in the audience has a $100 bill, and poor Rob was the only sucker in the audience.
Because this being his first PSUG event, he didn't know.
I mean, let's be honest. We all work in education. Like,
Yeah.
how many people have a $100 bill when you work?
And not only
And they won't take a Canadian $100 bill. It's worthless.
You got to cash out your perf to get a $100.
a Canadian $100 bill is like a Canadian.
It's like it's only like 75 bucks. So they're like, no.
So poor Rob not only wound up wondering if he was going to ever see his $100 again, but he had one up covered in toilet paper and with a toilet plunger stuck to his head. Yeah. He got to be the toilet paper holder.
Pretty
Lucky
serious
Rob.
in here, is he?
But Rob was a good sport.
Amazing sport.
And I hope that also, we've picked on him a lot this week, this poor guy, but I hope it's also given some visibility to PSCB and the custom reports bundle and the other stuff out on Power Data Solutions. Because it's free.org. It's free and it's quality, and
After all these years of seeing his name, I was so happy to meet you.
Absolutely.
You know what? Like, to put a face to the name, you know, especially for somebody who's so representative of this PSUG community. Yeah.
He's
Now-
also been a great friend to NBA too.
Mm-hmm.
He has been a great friend to NBA.
That's one of the awesome things about these events is you see all these names all over the PSUG group, replying to all these messages over the years, and you finally get to meet them in person. It's awesome. And most people, I mean, are just great to meet. Then you finally meet a few of them, and it's like, oh God, what was I saying?
Never working with that guy again.
Little old me?
Oh,
You're stuck working with them.
I'm the only reason people come to PSUG.
It's getting deep.
Why is that? Because Adam doesn't come anymore?
Oh, you said his name.
Oh, no, I didn't. It was a different Adam.
Should we get an NBA parade going on here?
I think, can we, you guys are going to hate me. And did Joy actually get up and leave because she knew this was going
Wait
to
a
happen?
minute. Yeah, wait.
Okay.
Yeah, so close.
We should hang tight a moment. Can we wait for Joy to come back?
For sure.
Can I just say something real quick?
Yeah.
For those of you that have never been to any of our events, regional events are 3 days long. We have at least 1 or 2 good receptions, and our national and international events are 4 days long. So you get 3 or 4 days of great PSUG training by instructors from all over the country and all over the world.
Well, also Eric.
And also Eric. And then we pack the evenings full of fun. So, I mean, it's a great time, and it's very cost effective and not too expensive.
Oh, we should talk about the cornhole tournament.
Oh
gosh,
no, we
that was
shouldn't
so
because
much
NBA
fun.
won it.
That was some bullshit. I'm sorry for my language, by the way.
Oh my gosh. So last night we had one of our receptions.
Yeah.
We actually had a cornhole tournament last night with 30 teams. And the final 2 teams had 3 of the people were from MBA. And
sounds rigged to me.
These 2 won the tournament.
Can't help it. I mean,
and Tammy was on the 2nd place team.
Yep. And Kim.
And Kim.
Actually, I have a story from my first conference, so it actually was the Vegas conference.
Perfect.
The year after I started in PowerSchool, I was so new that when I was introduced to all of the PSUG presenters and customizers, particularly on the last day when putting it all together, I had no idea who any of you were. I really didn't. And then when I went home and told people about who I had met, was talking to, and had become my friends, and part of this, as I say, this lost tribe I had been removed from as a child. Then I started hearing these names and oh, wait a minute, maybe I should have been a little intimidated by this.
Not really.
As soon as I did that after the national conference, I said, I have to get back. I have to find a way to get back. And the only way I was going to be able to get back, likely, especially to the national one, was to become a presenter myself. And that really it's done a great deal in my life. I love the chance to give back. I have, I'm a teacher. There's a part of me that's a teacher at heart. But at the same time, I've met these people. They invited me in. As you've all said, it was a fantastic opportunity to meet people. And to be honest, it's the first group of friends that I've made in my adult life that didn't involve my wife. And I love my wife tremendously, but it's always been her and I as a couple. And to be able to say that I've made these friends is just amazing to me. And so I get, like I said, any opportunity I get just to hang out with them and exchange ideas. And I learned so much just talking with them. And if I can give them a little nugget once in a while, I love it. And our favorite phrase as presenters is, anytime anybody comes to us and says, that was worth the entry cost. Anytime they say, that paid for me to be here, that's one of our favorite things to hear. I think everyone on the team would agree with that.
Absolutely.
So that was Peter Nethercott, and I agree with all of that.
I'm sorry. So you like PSUG?
Yeah. Maybe a little.
Joy's back.
Joy's back.
Hi, Joy. We've
Hi,
been
Joy.
waiting for you, Joy. You've been holding up the show. I hope you know. We're going to call you up and embarrass you now. We had an agenda, but no, Joy got cold. Just saying. Yeah, we're still recording. I'm talking about you.
Yeah, I told him we already all come up, so she's gotta come up next.
Oh no, y'all.
No, nobody else has come up. NBA. NBA, get your butts out of your chairs. Joy was falling for it too. She was falling for it. NBA, get your butts out of your chairs. Come, please. Because
Just for a
this
second.
podcast wouldn't be possible. It's sponsored by NBA.
Especially without
Carla.
No, Carla is just a pretty face. She doesn't actually do anything.
Carla was the brain child behind this podcast.
Oh, she's right behind me.
And you know what?
She?
I remember so here's Carla. She talked to Eric and asked Eric what he thought about a podcast, and he poo-pooed all over it.
He did.
And then
you were not there.
Oh, I heard. And then Carla came to me and Sean and I were like, yeah.
Let's do this.
And so Eric got forced into this.
You make me sound like a real fuddy-duddy, but
you're a little bit of a fuddy-duddy. But you know what? I think this podcast has been going great, and you're not a fuddy-duddy.
Thanks, buddy.
So we started
Carla
over here. We have
Dance.
Carla Dance. Mike Velosio. Mike or Michael?
Either.
We'll go with
Mikhail.
Appreciate you all, thank you.
Mister?
Wait. What does Carla do? I think we should talk about how they contribute to NBA. Carla's our VP of operations. I'm sorry.
No, please go ahead.
Okay. Carla, you're the VP of operations. She's what I call the wheel greaser. If something needs to get done, you need to pass it to Carla, and she will grease the wheel. Or she'll tell you you're stupid, and
and then you'll get a talking to.
I never
Stern
called
talking
you
to.
stupid. Ignorant maybe, but not stupid.
You've called me a lot of things, but to be fair, I don't think you've ever called me stupid.
No, because people are not stupid. They're
Because you know I'm a genius.
Ignorance is just a lack of knowledge. That's all it is.
Have you talked to him?
Yeah. Well, we make an
Just
exception
saying.
for that one.
Next over, we have Michael Velosio.
Hey, everyone. Thank you.
Our fantastic salesperson who's made some major milestones this year in sales.
Oh, he well, no,
we
don't
gotta
need to-
tell.
We don't need to label numbers or anything. I just want to say that his wife is the other salesperson, and I'm pretty sure that you laid the smackdown on her. this year.
But Joy, you're still the better half.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, I got that.
And Joy Velosio, we skipped over Tammy, but you've already seen Tammy. Nobody cares about Tammy.
No, that's Tammy Todd.
Ta-da. But okay, we'll come back to Tammy. But Joy Velosio, Mike's the one who keeps Mike in line, the better half for sure.
It's a fluke that they have the same last name.
Yes. For the record, for everyone that's seen us at conferences together, we are married.
You're not brother and sister.
Yeah.
And Tammy Todd. I mean, what do I even say about Tammy Todd?
Amazing.
I adore Tammy Todd. She's already married, so I'm SOL. But Tammy Todd, ladies
I
and
do
gentlemen.
training and support.
There you go.
Yes.
That's about what I do.
Because Eric literally doesn't know.
I know.
I don't know. I just do what Carla tells me to do.
Don't I, Ryan?
Absolutely. I learned a lot of things this morning in one of your classes.
And we have Shauna.
Don't forget.
Hello.
Shauna Fitzke.
Hello, implementation and support manager over the plugins. So oversee the implementations of what our developers are developing and what the salespeople are selling. So.
In other words, Shauna tells me what I do wrong.
And me too.
Nice.
It happens.
But she does it in such a nice way.
Yes.
But we're still great friends. I adore Shauna.
Yes. Sure, she let him have a drink.
I know none of you actually wanted to be on camera, so you can sit down.
But thank you, everybody.
If I might add, MBA has been a long-term diamond sponsor, our top-level sponsor with Level Data and a few other places, and they always support us tremendously. They provide trainers for our events, and they help us financially, and they're one of our favorite exhibitors. So thank you guys, too, for that. We appreciate it.
Yes.
So I realize this episode has just become a huge thank you, but there's nothing wrong with that. It's what's that?
Nick is just talking under his breath right now.
No, I mean, so for the people that are, watching this and, are just kind of like, why are they saying thank you so much? But this community, this organization, this conference has meant a lot to a lot of us. So again, for the listeners and viewers, if you haven't been to one of the conferences, I think I could speak for everybody here that I would strongly suggest you looking into it.
I think even because of COVID, it's even more so because we were away from each other.
Missing each other. So much.
Symptoms,
Yeah.
right? So
you know what?
Getting back together in Vegas was great. This has been great.
I miss these dudes. I miss this dude. I missed all of you.
Another group hug.
Yes, my friends. It's good to be back.
Almost 2 years.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, guys, I think that about wraps it up. So thank you for coming. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for watching. Again, we'll have a couple links down in the description, but honestly, thank you to our viewers as well. This has been a new link. You have a new link?
I have a new link.
Perfect.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Pirani, by the way.
Easy grip. There's no way no one's better. I'm happy to announce we now have a new URL for that link. Not to be creepy, but .com.
I want to make sure everybody heard that. That's not to be creepy, but .com. That was available.
It's easier to remember.
I believe you actually bought that domain.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
Did you wait? No. Did you buy it during our recording?
You know me too.
I think Nick Pirani purchases at least one domain name every conference.
Setting them up and
And it's usually in some way, shape, or form to make fun of me.
Oh, absolutely, as it should be.
I make it too easy.
There's been quite a few domains bought at these events.
But seriously, guys, thank you. Until next time, have a good one.
Thanks for joining us, and a special thanks to our subscribers. Consider becoming one today. Enjoy more episodes and learn more at mba-link.com.